last week we talked about the grip. So if you haven't seen that video, go back, check it out. This week we're gonna be talking about drop steps. Okay, not just drop step, but we'll have a variation of a couple different types of steps you should have in your repertoire. Okay, now again, we're gonna start out under center, and I know, most of you guys do shotgun, but this is just for teaching's sake. This is better to start out here, then we'll show you a shotgun, okay? So we're gonna start out with our basic, again, what is our rules? Again, if you haven't seen the proper quarterback stance, you need to go back maybe to our first or second video and check that out to make sure you have that knowledge on that. So we're gonna start out under center, and we're gonna do our 3-step drop. Now, with our 3-step drop, right here, Marcel, we're gonna have a couple basic fundamental rules. With our 3-step drop, you're gonna have one big step. And what does that big step do? It separates us from the line of scrimmage, okay? Because if we have too small of a step, and again, if our center gets and our guards get blown off the ball, it's gonna knock us out, right? So with our 3-step drop, it's one big step and 2 smaller steps, okay? Now, when we talk about drop step, there's 2 variations of the same drop step. So if I have a 3-step drop, and I call it a power off, and there's one that's called maybe a shuffle, okay? So if I have a power off, I'm 1, 2, 3. As soon as I hit that 3rd step, I'm powering off, okay? I'm powering off. And again, 1, 2, 3. Our weight is distributed on the inside of our plant foot. And for you lefties, it's gonna be the reverse. But for our right-handed, it's gonna be the power is distributed here, then we're gonna come off and throw. These are for quick throws. This is for like your hitches, your outs, your slants, even your short go routes or your bang eights, okay? So it's 1, 2, 3, power off and go, okay? For our second one, and again, when we do a 3-step drop, outside of doing something maybe in the shotgun, we're not necessarily gonna use a 3-step drop for our shuffle, okay? But I'll show you anyway. So it's 1, 2, 3, we're gonna shuffle up or hold our place to make sure our read is correct, okay? So Marcel, he's gonna show us the 3-step drop. I want you to do it in slow-mo. All right, 1, 2, 3, okay? Let's show them again. I want you to do the 3-step power off like you're throwing to the left. 1, 2, 3, there you go. There you go. Once again, come on. Go to your right, power off to your right. 1, 2, 3. All right, now again, what I want you to notice in doing this, and this is something you're gonna hear me repeat. We've talked about it in the when our quarterback center exchange video. Your eye level has to be upfield. We're gonna go ahead and preach that right now before we even get into throwing mechanics, before we get into anything. Okay, so this is gonna come right along with the drop. So this is something you're gonna hear me talk about over and over and over again. As a quarterback, we tend to have a habit. Again, not out here because we don't have any pressure. We got the beautiful facility. It's nice and cool out here. We're just doing our thing. But when you get in that fire, and trust me, if you're about this life, you're gonna get in that fire. What happens is that you got 4 to 6 big centers, 4 to 6 big linemen here. And you got 4 to 5 defensive linemen. And they're battling each other. And them defensive linemen coming through trying to knock your head off. Understand? However, and again, we'll go over this, we'll drill it up. Your eye level has to maintain upfield. You cannot be looking down at what your linemen are doing. You can't be looking to see where the defensive lineman's coming. I know that's counterintuitive. I realize that. But your eye level has to be upfield, and we're gonna do a whole video on that, so stay tuned. Again, so we're gonna go back to our 3-step drop. And generally, our 3-step drop is for quick passes when we're under center, okay? So go ahead. Nice, you see that? It's 1 big step, 2 small steps. So now, I want you to move the shotgun. You can stay right there. I don't want you running, so scoot up a little bit. Scoot up a little bit. Now, when we talk about shotgun, he'll be a little bit further back for this, but I got my stuff in the background. But when we talk about shotgun, and a 3-step drop, generally what that means is that there's some reading going on. So you see the difference in a 3-step drop when we're going from under center as opposed to when we're going to shotgun. Generally, when he's doing this 3-step drop at a shotgun, that means he has to dissect the defense, and he's generally doing a hitch up because we wouldn't necessarily, because he already has separation from the line in the shotgun. So when we're doing a shotgun, I want you to do the hitch. 1, 2, 3, read. Now again, it's okay to hitch up and move up, but I don't want you doing this, bouncing your foot. That's something Peyton Manning do. That we ain't Peyton Manning around here. Okay, so get back under center. So that's the 3-step drop. Again, we gotta practice. Again, remember, one big one, crossover, last step, okay? So we got a big step, crossover, last step. Now we wanna practice our 5-step drop. Again, I realize that outside of playing a pro offense, not a lot of you guys are doing 5-step drops, but we're gonna practice them anyway. So you have to be prepared for whatever your coach comes to do, because you could be right now running a running shoot, shotgun, read option offense, and your coach leaves or he gets fired, and you got the new guy coming in, he puts in his system, now you're running a pro style offense. So you gotta be prepared for whatever your coach throw at you, okay? So we're gonna practice our 5-step drop. Now, what is our 5-step drop? It's similar to our 3-step drop, okay? We got, except for this, we got one big one, we got another big one, and another big one, and 2 smaller set steps, okay? So you wanna try to get back there, and again, when I'm doing this, remember, it's not necessarily a glide, and we're not necessarily marching, but we wanna be smooth in our transition back there, and we wanna get back as fast as possible. Now I understand when you first start doing this, it may take you some time to get the rhythm, because again, it's sort of counterintuitive, a lot of the things that go into playing the quarterback position. So we're gonna start off slow, and then eventually we wanna speed it up, okay? So we got what? One big one, cross, one big one, and 2 gather steps. So let's go. Let's get that 5 steps. For dads, we can go ahead and practice our center exchange here. Go. Nice. Try it again. We're gonna put some of these in slow-mo so you can get, okay? Remember, one big one, crossover, another big one, 2 gathers, okay? Set, go. And again, we wanna get back there, we wanna be under control, and we wanna get the hell, excuse me, I don't wanna cuss. We wanna get as much separation as the line as we could possibly get in order to create space and create a pocket and throw. Okay, so we're gonna come up a little bit, Marcel. Now again, I'm gonna seem like a dinosaur for teaching this, but I'm gonna teach a 7-step drop, okay? It's the same, as similar to the 5. We got one big one, we got a crossover, another big one, crossover, another big one, then 2 gathers, okay? I'm gonna slow that down for you a little bit. Okay, we got big one, crossover, big one, crossover, big one, 1, 2, 3. So you should be, when we do a 7-step drop, again, these are for longer developing plays where we gotta get a read on what's going on downfield, where our receivers is gonna take a bit more time to get downfield. It's for something like a 15-yard square ends, deep post, maybe in some situation the curl wheel combination, or you know, a 7 hitch combination, something that's going to take a little bit longer to develop downfield, but you know, we got to get back and get that separation from the line. Again, this is something that outside of maybe a pro style offense that you're not necessarily going to learn, but again, if we stay ready, we ain't got to get ready. Let's go. 7-step drop. Let's go. Set, go. Okay, let's do it again. Now, 7-step drop, you should be at about, I would say about 8 to 10 yards. And we got, again, this ain't easy. We got to hustle up and get back there. All right, set, go. Nice, nice. That's good. That's perfect, man. That's perfect. 7-step drop, guys. Okay, so now we went over our 3-step, our 5-step, and our 7-step from under center. So we're gonna bring it back down. We're gonna go 1 step under center. Now again, this is just, particularly I would say this is something that you're gonna use when you have a hot read. So for instance, if again, this is gonna be for you advanced high school guys, you college guys. When you have a pass play and you're gonna audible out of it, you have somebody blitzing, you recognize the blitz, and you got a receiver to go cover his spot. So this is gonna be something when we have a hot read. We'll go over that later. Or this is gonna be something when we have a one-step fade, when we recognize there's a one-on-one matchup and we wanna get that ball out hot as fast as we can, okay? And again, yeah, just like a fade route. So what we're gonna do, basically we're just gonna get the hike and throw it, essentially. But we gotta make sure that even though we're trying to get this ball out quicker, we can move back to the line of scrimmage. We gotta recognize that even though we wanna get this ball out quick, we still have to get that proper separation from the line of scrimmage, okay? So we're here. Set, go. Yep, and see, this is where, go ahead, square. And this is where, to me, this foot is gonna be valuable when we running these plays. Okay, when we got that, again, we've got our hot read, we got our fade route, we just gotta get the ball off quick. We got pop passes, and you got like a tall tight end just coming over the middle. Because he already has this left foot established back, and he takes his right foot and get back, he's already about 1.5 yards to about 1 yard off the line of scrimmage. So he's gonna create separation and he's gonna be able to throw that ball quickly, okay? So again, that's not too hard, but go over one more time to give you a visual. And again, watch his feet when we're doing this. We're gonna run it through in slow motion to help you out, man. Set, go. Nice, 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 nice. So that's a one-step drop. That is our 3, 5, and 7. Now let's go to some drills. Now, a drill to go with these drops. These are our basic drops. So what I find a big problem is that when we're teaching young kids these drops, what had generally happened, and what happened to me when I learned these drops, is that I had trouble staying in a straight line. Okay, a lot of times, because again, playing the quarterback, a lot that has to do with it is counterintuitive to our natural movements and how we naturally want to go. You know, that's why you have to be disciplined, and that's why we have to practice these drills every day. You have to do your drops every day. I don't care if you're an NFL quarterback, a high-level college kid, or a high school guy, or you're just learning. These are things you do every day. You want to create a muscle memory where you have trouble doing them incorrectly, okay? And when we're doing our drops, what a lot of kids will do, they'll take this, they'll drop foot, and they'll move it back to their left, particularly if you're right-handed. Next thing you know, you're going way left and you're getting offline. The problem with doing that is that, number one, you're just off center. And number two, again, if I'm veering to my left, or if I'm left-handed and I'm veering to if I'm veering to my right, then what happens to me, maybe that pocket closes and then I run smack dead into the center when I had a clean pocket to begin with. So we want to practice going straight. And how do you practice that? Dad, coaches, get some cones set up, or get some what I would actually do is maybe some of those big tackling dummies. Just get them veered up, and that way we can help this quarterback practice dropping straight back. So we'll hit it right here. Perfect. Again, one more time. He'll just drop in between the cones or in between the tackling dummies. And you'll see, and it'll be very apparent. And what I would do, a point of warning, you have him walk through this. Have him go slow. Because particularly if you got cones or something, you don't want him to hit one of these cones and twist an ankle or hurt a knee or something to that effect. But you want him to get the point of that he can't do this. Okay, this will help him guide him straight. Okay, let's go to another drill. Okay, now again, we'll go through a whole ladder series for quarterbacks, some basic ladder movements that I'm going to think to help you. But for right now, we're going to use this ladder for a drill. So we're going to start at the top, Marcel. I want you to put a foot here and a foot here. So again, get your proper athletic stance. And this is going to, again, when we talked about in previous videos, we talked about keeping a wide base. And a lot of times what quarterbacks do is that we'll do this. We'll be throwing like this, and then we'll wonder why we don't have balance. We wonder why our throw is not coming off correct. And then when we do throwing mechanics, you'll see how this is important, but still important right now for our drops, So that way we can keep a wide base, because when we're dropping back, we got to keep a wide base in that pocket. So yeah, and your shoulder square. So we're gonna keep a wide base going up, and then he's gonna go back. So all we're doing here is that we're just stepping through the ladder drill, and we're gonna keep a block in between our feet. So start from the top, go through it. Okay. All right, and go back. Go back. There you go. All right. Okay, look, it doesn't have to be fast. What we're trying to do is we're just trying to help him create that muscle memory so he can keep a wide base, okay? Next drill. We're gonna call, now look, this drill's 5 yards apart, so we got 5 yards apart. The cones are with one cone in the middle. We're gonna run 2 drills out of this. Our first is gonna be our star drill. Again, this is gonna help us in establishing that drop back and helping us step and throw, okay? Again, you'll see, you'll grasp it better, and we'll come back to this when we actually start throwing. But this will help you establish that footwork you're doing, whether we're throwing to our left or whether we're throwing to our right. And you'll see it better, and you'll get a better grasp on it when we start to throw, and we're actually gonna come back to this. But Marcel, we're gonna run it. So basically, this is a star drill. So basically what he's gonna do, he's gonna take a quick three to the center, and then he's gonna transition his body weight to his left. He's gonna step to the left, okay? So this is working our hips, and this is establishing that quick 3. So let's go. There you go. You're gonna work it all the way through. There we go. Nice. Now again, we wanna go the other way. So we went to the left that time, let's go back to the right, brother. 1, 2, 3. Again, you see how he got his feet? 1, 2, 3. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 1, 2, 3. It's going to help your feet work. It's going to help your hip transition. And last one we're going to do what we call a wave drill. Well, I call it a box wave drill, okay? So Marcel's going to start from here. And again, once we actually start to throw, you're gonna understand this a little bit more, but we're gonna get it now, so that way you already have your body movements together. You already have that muscle memory built up. You're already familiar with the movement, so when we start to throw, it can be more like second nature than some foreign body movement. So again, from here to here, he's gonna do a traditional drop step. It's 5 yards, so we're gonna take about a 5-step drop. And once we get here, we're gonna practice moving, preparing to throw the football on the move. And again, this is something we'll dig into more. So again, from here to here, we got a 5-step drop. Once he gets here, we're gonna be in our proper throwing position. And what's that? That's our elbows down, ball chest high, in our athletic stance, and we're pedaling. We're moving with our back foot. Because again, when we're moving behind us, we're moving with our back foot, because what that allows us to do is that if we have to throw here, we're ready. If we have to throw here, we're ready. We're ready. It's gonna allow us to throw, because if you're just here, just, moving however you think you should move, you're not gonna be ready to throw. The object is that when you're moving with the ball playing the cornerback position, you have to be prepared to throw at all times, okay? So once we get here, we got our back foot, and we're moving with our back foot. Moving with our back foot. Once we get here, we're stepping up. Then we change it to our front foot. You see, we're ready to throw the ball at all times. And we're gonna go cross back with our back foot. Let's demonstrate it. There we go. And you see how he did that? He was prepared to throw the ball at all times. And that's what it's about. We don't want this drill to be fast necessarily at the beginning. What we want to establish is proper technique. And again, that's something we'll go over. So I call that a box wave drill. That's going to help us with our drop step and help us with movement in our drop step, okay? We've gone over the 1, 3, 5, and 7 drop step from under center. Now, there's going to be times when that ain't going to be happening. Again, like I had mentioned before, if your coach has a pass play, there's gonna be times where if your coach has a a 3, 5, 7 step yard drop, that is going to be so much pressure that we're not going to have time to do that. Okay, so we're going to have to break that drop and get the ball out, particularly like I said, when we have a hot read or when you make an audible at the line of scrimmage. So I just want you to get prepared for that. Again, we're teaching you fundamental rules. However, those rules at times are made to be broken. So you have to establish when to break them and when not to. And that's going to come from film study. That's going to come from talking with your coach. And that's coming from practicing hard. When you practice, your mind got to be in the game. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Basic drops. Next week, we'll be coming back with even more drops as far as our sprint outs and our RPOs and waggles and things of that nature. Thank you. See you next week.